Welcome to Hanging with Here to Zen, the genre-free music and lifestyle podcast presented by Here to Zen magazine. This is the place to come to celebrate all types of music, lifestyle, and more. We are glad you have come along for the ride, so sit back and enjoy the episode.
Yeah. So yeah, it's also going to be Jetboy's first time down here too, and it's their 40th
Yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. Well, when we got called for the gig, Mickey was just like, this is like the bucket list, like, always wanted to go down there and tour, like, and so, yeah, we were just like, I'm like, you don't have to tell me, I'm in,
Yeah,
you know.
and Glamfest is fun. They did the first one last year, and
Uh-huh.
it's really well put together. It's a fun vibe.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's a change of venue in Brisbane this year to a much bigger venue because it needed to be a bigger venue.
Right.
But everyone's there with the same intent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really cool atmosphere. Last year I had the best time, even though I was
Uh,
like working. So,
right.
you know, you'll have the best time. There's great bands on the bill. Like it's Slaughter's first time down here as well.
Yeah. Me
Um,
and Mark are acquaintances. Me and Mark Slaughter are acquaintances. So every time we've done a couple of festivals together. So
Excellent.
yeah.
We don't know if Blas will be coming down with them yet or not. I guess that would depend on his schedule.
Yeah. I don't know how, yeah, it really depends on his scheduling because I think he'll just be finishing up being on the road with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yep.
And so I don't know if he's gonna want to jump back out on the road or not. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And they also use Will from Evanescence or
Oh,
Zoltan.
is
Yeah.
okay.
So
Wow. Will's great too,
yeah. Um, how exciting! Like it's exciting because a lot of these bands have never had the chance to tour. So when Jetboy are going to come down, you're going to be concentrating on a particular era of the band.
We're gonna be playing a lot of we're gonna touch a little bit on each album,
Yep.
and then we might, well, this is still in discussion. We might throw a couple of because the new record is all covers.
Yep.
So we might throw a couple of covers in there. Um, and we're still discussing that and trying to figure out, it's a big record. I think there's 13 songs on the record. There's a lot of great covers on there. So,
Yep.
um, I don't know if you've heard it yet or not, but
I've heard bits and pieces. Yeah.
so there's a lot on there. So it's just like, it's to be discussed. And
And how did you come into the Jetboy world?
I came into Jetboy, I want to say, geez, has it been 2 years already? Um, yeah, I don't know, maybe 2 years, maybe a year and a half. I'm not sure. But I came in because one of my best friends has played drums for Jetboy, Al Serrato. He's played drums for Jetboy for geez, I think like 10 years or something like that. And and so Fernie was kind of like, I'm ready to retire. And so Mickey, called and, got his blessing, and he was like, yeah, feel free to find my replacement. I'm pretty much done.
Cool.
And then Mickey called me. And no, Mickey knew me through Al Serrato. And then Mickey called me and asked me if I'd be interested. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And I met with him and Billy, Billy Rowe. And yeah, and it was, good fit. We all get along really well, and and we all I love the music. It's I was like back in the day when they were on the Sunset Strip, doing shows with GNR or Poison. I was like 14 years old, but I was still on the strip. it's funny because me and my friends every weekend we'd be down on the strip, and it was a great time back then, you know. And but and I'm so glad that I got to, you know, live it. But I was you know, I was down there watching, you know, all the bands play,
Yep.
you know, and my band was only allowed to play at Gazzari's because that was all ages.
Right.
So yeah. So which Gazzari's isn't there anymore, which is I think it's the is it still the Key Club down there? I'm not sure. But anyway, but yeah, so it's my era, you know. I
Yep.
was, you know, I'm from, you know, from Los Angeles, you know. So um, you know, it was an easy fit, you know. Um, and their influences are a lot of my influences as well, you know.
Cool.
So I was brought in, and then also I produced the new record as well.
Sure. Now, when
So
you come into a new band like that, look, anyone and everyone has musical talent that are in bands.
mhm.
Um, do you find it's more of a personality that needs to mesh as well as a musical talent?
Oh yeah, like it's definitely a lot of personality. Um, you know, that's where you know, it's communication, you know, being able to, you know, feel each other's vibe, you know. And it's definitely you know, that's why we all met in person, you know, it was all
Yep.
personality, you know. That's the same thing, like, you know, if you tour with a band, you know, if you're even if you're a hired gun,
Yep.
you know, great, you can play the music, but are you a good hang? You know, are you a, you know, solid person to, you know, that they can depend on, you know? Are you good company? You know, are you drunk, you know, are you drunk all the time? Are you, you know, do you have a, you know,
Mhm.
drug problem, this or that? All of those things come into play. That's like right there,
Yep.
like, you know, head to head, you know. Like, I mean, there's ton of, you know, better guitar players than me, you know. But do they fit the bill? Do they fit? Are they from the 80s, you know? Or
Yep. A lot of bands like so you grew up, as you said, in Los Angeles, and you grew up on the Strip. So I think about
yeah.
also someone like, say, Robbie Crane, which probably he's about your age and coming up in the same time, you know,
Hmm.
teching and then moving on to playing in those bands.
Yeah.
And I think you living through that has given you the ability to have the longevity to fit into bands like Jetboy now. Would you agree? Like living through it allows you to move along with the times.
Oh, completely. Completely. Like, you know, and then like even when we travel or we're sitting you know, if we're in a like hotel room or if we're, you know, on a flight or, you know, to be able to relate, you know, remember, you know, this story, you know, back, remember that part, like say for instance, oh, you know, the specific part at the Rainbow where the stairs are so narrow going upstairs. You're like, yeah, I've been there a million times, you know.
Yep.
All of that stuff is important. In fact, I like when we did two shows at the Whiskey, I think this year. And the same thing, you know, like we went and ate like at a new restaurant where the Cat Club, you know, used to be,
Yep.
and not the Cat House, but the Cat Club. And then there's a new restaurant there, and me and Mickey were talking like, remember this was the Cat Club, and we were like, oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're going on, and then I was just like, I used to play with in a jam band with Jeff Duncan from Armored Saint. And then I used to sing in that band, but it was Jeff Duncan from Armored Saint, and then Andrew Freeman was another singer, you know, from Last in
That's in
Line.
line. Yep.
Yeah, and what's funny is that's we all kind of moved out to Las Vegas at the same time.
Yep.
You know, we all moved out to Las Vegas at the same time, which is funny, but we were in that same jam band. You
And
know.
Andrew also plays in Rock Vault, doesn't he? Occasionally.
Not anymore, but he was.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like I want to say an original cast member of Rock Vault, you know. So he was like the OG, you know, along with you know, the rest of them. So
Now, speaking of that, like Rock Vault has to be so good for keeping your chops up. I saw Rock Vault in 2013,
uh-huh.
you know, and it's a ridiculous show. There is so many different moving parts to
Hmm.
make it all work. So how is that for you playing in Rock Vault? Is it just for you? It's like the office job almost, and then you go on tour.
It's actually, you know, doing Rock Vault is it's a, you know, because I sing in Rock Vault, and which is funny, you know, because I play
Yep.
guitar in Jetboy. But you know, but in Jetboy it works great because, you know, I get to cover all the harmonies and stuff in Jetboy, and
Yep.
me and Mickey, you know, mesh very well. um but in Rock Vault I just sing, I don't play, which is, you know, I don't know, just they always call me to, you know, do dates as a singer. So, but anyway, but doing Rock Vault, it's not like doing a show like that. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yep.
It's, you know, and me actually, you know, me and Andrew Freeman talked about this, and it's like, because it's a lot of up and down, because you sing one song and then you're down for three. So
Yep.
your voice is like, you know, you got to get your voice warm, and then you're warm, and then you're, next thing you know, you're not singing anything, you know, and you're down for like three songs, and then you know, then you got to come out again. And it was just like Andrew said this. It was just like, okay, here's your 3 minutes. Be great.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, doing it like, you know, a real set, which is anywhere from like an hour to, you know, hour 15 minutes.
Yep.
It's just like, you know, you get your chances that, you know, you get your, okay, I'm warming up, warming up, warming up, boom, okay, I'm there, you know, like you get a couple songs to warm up. This you don't. You better hit that stage and you better be on point. So it's not as easy as it looks, as maybe I shouldn't be sharing this. Who knows? But it's not as easy as it looks. And then plus you got, you know, the wardrobe changes in between too
Yep.
as well. And then you can't, you know, you got your marks on stage that you have to hit, because if not, you know, you can run into the dancers.
Yeah.
And then you know, there's songs that you have to go out and sing backups on, you know,
Yep.
and that you can't miss that. And there's a lot to it. As much as people say, oh, I could do that show, I could do, no, there's a lot to it.
There's a lot of moving parts.
A lot
And,
of moving
and
parts.
I would have seen, like, I think about the fact that that was 11 years ago almost that I saw it. So that would have been in its infancy.
Right.
And
Oh yeah.
so like now it's probably a lot more evolved, and there's different production and different people.
Yeah. And then, like, say for instance, like the last time I did it, which was just last week, um, there was a new tech,
Right.
and he was great though. He was a great guy. I forget his name. I'm sorry. But um, you know, I kind of had to you know, yeah, like make sure my mic stands in the middle on during this song. And oh, I do play acoustic guitar on Rock Vault though. But you know, like I had to, you know, give him a little bit of direction. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't, you know, my first time doing the gig. I'm
Yep.
like, you've got the perfect attitude. It's great. Don't worry
Yep.
about it. Like, I'll tell you what, you know, I'll tell you what I need. You know, I'll tell you what you need, where you need to be, and this and that. He was like, oh, thank you. And he was great though. He was a great tech. I told him just a couple key things, and boom, he was solid, you know?
Excellent. And that's important for any band. People don't realize this, that to get the band on stage, it takes the
Mm-hmm.
people behind the stage a mountain of work. And especially with you coming down for Glamfest, it'll be all local guys, and you may have one or two techs that can travel with you, but you're
Mm-hmm.
relying on hired backline, a lot of
Yeah,
hired gear. Like you might bring a guitar each, and
right,
you know, things like that. But without those moving parts, like the techs behind the show just won't happen.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the techs are very, very important, like everyone, because, you know, I mean, even sound guy, like sound guys, make or break, they can make or break a band,
Yeah.
like if they, if they're, not on point. And, but they work so hard. And what's funny is they think that the audience, a lot of the audience sees just when the show goes on and then when the
Yep.
show ends, but they don't see the production before the show.
Yep.
And they don't see the production after the show, meaning the tear down, and then
Yeah.
you got to haul it to the next city, and you got to give it to those guys because they work really hard,
Yeah.
really, really hard. And, and then, let you in on the, in the band. It's funny because everyone thinks that like it's party fest backstage. And it's like, nope. You're like, I'm warming up my vocal cords at the same time I'm warming up my fingers, to
Yep.
play, and that happens like 30 minutes before I even hit the stage,
Yeah, I think I made the joke to Todd last time that it's not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's coffee, yoga, and stretches.
Yeah, that's another thing, stretching too. Like, yeah, definitely coffee. I mean, I'm drinking coffee right now.
I haven't started yet. I should.
You should.
You should. Yeah.
But yeah, like it really is like uh stretching is really important too, because like when the adrenaline of the show starts, then you start getting into it, and then next thing you know, you're running across stage and you're like, oh, my hamstring.
Yeah. Well, I also think of the times when you play with Todd in Vegas, and that set list is ridiculous. It can be 20 different genres in 20 different songs.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. It's let me tell you this much, and I don't even know if I should say this or not, but I'm going to anyway. I don't give a damn. Like, there's so many songs, sometimes you get like a brain fart. Yep. And just like you blank out. It was the easiest song the last show we did. It was Rebel Rebel. I've played this song for 20, 30 years. I've played this song, right?
Yep.
And you're just playing it, and then you're like, and I look at Todd, and Todd's all like this, turns his guitar towards me, and I'm like, yeah. And it's like it's the simplest song. It really is.
Also, the problem is you can't get too close to him because that hair is a no-fly zone when he gets in the mood.
Yeah. Like me and him both have, me and him both have a lot of hair, but like he's 6'4", and I'm 5'8", so therefore when he flips his hair, it misses me. It flies right over my head.
Makes sense now. Makes sense. Yeah.
So, but
that's got to keep your chops up playing with that guy. Like, he's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, I remember the first time me and Todd played together. It was we were actually we recorded together first before we even played together.
Right.
So, but it was on mine and Doc Ellis's and Al Serrato, our original band called the Hellenbacks, and Todd.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I had a gig at the House of Blues. Doc Ellis was on guitar, second guitar, and he got sick. He was all like, I got the flu, and then I said, oh, so I said, let me call Todd and see if he's available, and I'm like, and Todd was all like, yeah, sure. Yeah, and Todd came down, and he's like, I'm fronting the show, but then I'm just like, let me turn it over to Todd real quick. And I turn it over to Todd. Oh, I remember what happened. We had a Guns N' Roses request, of course. Someone was yelling out, GNR, GNR. And we're like, okay, what we're going to do. I go, we got Todd here, from Slash's band. Let's do some GNR.
Yep.
So we did so many, we started off with Jungle, and then Todd was like, you want to hear another one, blah, 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 blah. And then we went into like, It's So Easy. And then I think we did Night Train, and then we went into a Beatles song, and like Todd like took the ball and ran, in which I love, you know what I mean? Like, he's such a great front man, and it's wonderful to share the stage with him like that, to turn the mic over to him and let him take over for a while. Oh, we had the best time though. It was a great time.
He's the best guy to have in your corner, like a pinch hitter, like what he did with Corey Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, exactly.
24 hours notice, bang,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I mean, like he's a brilliant music. He always plays it down, and I'm gonna call him out on this bullshit.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
call
don't
him.
know if I'm allowed to
No, say
curse.
bullshit, say fuck, say
Okay.
everything.
Okay. Um, but I'm gonna call him out on this bullshit. He's a brilliant musician. He really is.
Yeah.
And he downplays himself so much, but he's brilliant.
It's
Like,
just disgusting how good he is.
oh, he's great, man. And so, yeah, like, I mean, I think I texted him. I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, Corey, he goes, I got to fill in for Corey Taylor. He was texting me on the way there. I was like, oh.
And,
So it was pretty funny.
and he's here the week after you leave.
Yeah, that's what I was. Soon as he saw that, he texted me and he goes, dude, we're there a week after you leave. And I was just like, you know,
because we're like, trying to tie it all together, because while he's here, there's a festival here that's being headlined by Susie Quattro and Cheap Trick. And we're trying to coordinate the days off.
Oh wow.
It's not going to happen.
Oh,
because they're pretty much hit and run too.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check with his schedule. You never know. I might stay there until he gets there and then leave. You know?
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna stay. So if he's gonna come in like 5 days later, then I'll stay.
It's about that.
Yeah, if it's that, then I'll probably stay and just, hang out and see the show and then take off.
Yeah,
but
because I think I'm going to come down for that show, the Sydney show.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll come back home the day after for the Brisbane show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's a Saturday, so it's the Saturday after you're in Sydney that they play.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Jetboy being 30, is it 30 or 40? 40 this year. Yeah. Is there going to be like a 40th anniversary tour package that you know of?
Not that I've been told.
Yep.
Not that I've been told, but that'd be a good idea. I think that'd be great. I know Mickey's anxious to get back into the studio, and he wants to, do some more original Jetboy stuff.
Right.
So yeah, he's like, he said that like literally right after they released the last record. He was just like, yeah, I want to get back in and like start writing and record. I was like, all right, cool. I just moved my studio, actually. And so I'm like halfway done putting it back together.
Okay.
And and I'm so anal about it to where like I have to do it all myself. Like
Yep.
I'm like, because I want to know, like, if something's not working, I want to know why. Like, I want to know what cable it is, or like I want to know. I want to have the map of the the wiring diagram in my head.
Yep.
It's the best, because then you can problem solve yourself.
Yeah. Do you want to move into doing more like full-time production stuff, or still be doing the live things?
Like it's funny because I also do film,
Yep.
And it's really, I don't think I want to, I don't want to go into full-time production. It's really because it's just like, it's only jobs that I'm passionate about, like, that I jump on. So I kind of pick and choose, and then that's another thing too. Like, I'm kind of like that, that's why I dabble in, like I just directed a music video for my buddy's bands called Crashing Waywards. It's coming out. Yeah, I directed their new video that's coming out. I think the 8th. I just posted it. It's like the 8th or the 6th. Hold on, here it is right here. Let me see. It's the 8th. And they showed me the song, and I was just like, I fucking love that song. I'm like, yes, I want to direct that video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so I want to be able to, I guess I like being all over the place creatively for my
Yep.
head, you know. I like and then I like jumping into a film. I like jumping in as an actor and not directing.
Yep.
I love editing. Editing is one of the things where I'll disappear for like 12, 14 hours,
Wow.
and I'll just, yeah. And then, you know, but in music production, you know, I gotta, you know, be passionate about it. Like
Yep.
Bruce Kulick, a few years ago asked me to, produce the stuff for Ace Frehley's record
Yep.
that he did, and they did a Jimi Hendrix cover, and I was just like, yeah, I'd love to, I'd love to engineer that, and you know, and um, it's like I like to, dabble in
Yeah.
like different things to keep my brain intrigued, and I
Yep.
definitely wouldn't ever lock myself in a studio full blown, because I still have the drive and the passion for being live on stage.
Yep. And people should check out Crashing Wayward. I found out about them through David because I knew
Uh-huh.
his two old bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, when he went to Vegas, because I knew him through the other bands, I was like, oh, that's a really fucking cool band.
Yeah.
Um, Now, when it comes to that production side, has Bruce contacted you about doing any of the stuff that he was going to do with, Todd, Brent, and Zach?
Um, no, I think no, he went, no, I don't know who he has working on that, you know? So yeah, but me and Bruce worked together for quite a while, at least a year. Like, he would get hired to do some guest spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we'd record him at my studio.
Okay.
And he's a it's very it's funny. I got a funny story about that. It's very funny, like Bruce's, when we first did our session, he was like he didn't know how familiar I was with him. He was just
Right.
like, oh, you know, he was it was funny. He was just like, oh, I don't even know if you aware that I was in Kiss. And I was just like, yeah, dude. I'm like, you're the reason why I started listening to Kiss again.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment where I stopped listening to Kiss. you know I just was just like, I'm not feeling, Vinnie Vincent, and
Mm-hmm.
I just, and I stopped listening to Kiss. And then when Bruce came in, I was just like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I was just like, so it was funny. He was just like, yeah, I don't know if like I was in Kiss. And I was just like, dude, you're the reason why I started listening to Kiss again.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, great. And that was like our first session. But Bruce is doing a lot of his production himself. Like he's been over COVID, he learned like a lot.
Yeah.
He took on himself and picked up engineering, and then also, video too. He hit me up and he was just like, yeah, he was asking me about lighting. And I go, oh, okay, well, let me send you this. And I sent him like a some basics on lighting,
Yep.
for video, and now he's making great videos and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
he is. It's really cool.
Yeah. So
All right, man. As I let you go today, I
I
want
know
you to tell me everything that you've got going on. So Jetboy are
everything I
here in
got going
February.
on.
We know
Oh,
Jetboy here for Glamfest, so everyone needs to be at Glamfest.
yeah. Basically, that's right now. Um, okay. So we got Jetboy for Glamfest, but then we also got, a possible more Todd Kerns shows coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And after he's, back from with Slash. And then we're talking about doing another Todd Kerns record.
Finally.
Dude, tell me about it. he's gonna hear this and he's gonna be like, dude. But it's we're talking about it, and then possibly, I don't know if we're gonna get into the studio and record yet for the new Jetboy stuff. It'd probably be after Glamfest.
Yep.
Every Sunday, I'm still doing my every Sunday over at the Cosmopolitan Hotel over here. I do a show with a little 3-piece band called the Wild Wolves. And what we do is we're in a speakeasy called the Barbershop. And what we do is we do an all request, you get to pick a song and, we play it for you. So,
wonderful.
Yeah. And it's a great room. It's a great sounding room. And whoever listening, watching, if you're down in Vegas, you got to come to the Barbershop. It's the great sounding venue. But that's about it. So far, I think. I don't know, but my main focus is right now is literally putting my studio back together. So, I'm really, really excited about putting that back together, and that's where we're at.
Awesome, man. Well, have a great rest of 2023. You've got a day and a half.
Yeah, right.
Of it left. We've got,
and I'm off for the rest of the year.
No New Year's gig in Vegas. Dude.
Nope. I'm done.
That's winning.
Yeah.
No one wants to be on the strip on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend it with my kids, and
lovely.
Yeah, spend it with my family and watch the ball drop, and we're gonna do it like we're gonna watch the New York ball drop, which is so it's 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, so it's 9 o'clock.
Go to bed on time.
Perfect. So you've got it all done.
And yeah, so it's gonna be great.
Awesome, man. Enjoy New Year's. Enjoy going to bed on time.
Yeah.
I'll see you in about 6 weeks.
All right. And, I look forward to it.
I'll bring the coffee.
Yes.
Because you'll need it.
I know, right? I'm gonna be jet lagged.
You're gonna be done. You're gonna be so fried.
Well, let's talk later. You got to fill me in things that I need to, bring or whatever.
We'll do it all, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
Talk to you later. See you, Jimmy.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
To Hanging with Here to Zen, we hope you enjoyed today's episode and guest. Remember to add Here to Zen on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are also on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep up to date on all of our new content. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. We would love if you could take the time to write us a review and leave a comments wherever you have tuned into today's episode. This helps us reach a wider audience and create more amazing content to share with you all. We are grateful for all of your support. Until next time, you have been hanging with Here to Zen.